It's 6 minutes past 9 right here on the Breakfast Express. And now we have our guest in studio, the one that I know we've got a standing appointment with every single Wednesday for our session. That's what I will call it. It is our session. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Coach Zaid, welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Yeah, good to be back again as always, and looking forward to today's conversation specifically.
Yes, straight to the point you went. We are talking about...
Well, the world has gone mad, and people are struggling to figure out how it is that they need to navigate these times or just cope. So I thought maybe good idea that we just have a general discussion today rather than picking on a specific area of whatever it is, mental health or whatever. It's always heavy, intense topics.
Can you, can you keep it that like Coach Zaid?
I try, but you ask me questions that forces me to go intense.
Exactly, I'm gaslighting you. So today we're keeping it general. We're keeping it open line. We are bombarded, literally, with all of this news coming at us. I mean, another petrol price hike on the horizon. The bombing in the UAE, in Lebanon, in countries, Palestine, and now we've got Iran, literally having a meme war with Donald Trump. We don't know whether to laugh or cry, Back home, we've got the Madlanga Commission, we've got the ad hoc committees, what do we do? Is this healthy? Should we be this informed?
I think the one term that comes to mind is that we're kind of living in an attention economy kind of thing, right? Everything is competing for our attention, but that's because having eyeballs on people's causes is what gives them reason to pursue it. So to be less cryptic about it, I think the problem we've got is that we feel this urgency to always be abreast of everything that's happening. And then we automatically assume that because something is so dire and so serious that it's going to somehow impact us. But we don't realize that a lot of it is out of just maybe concern or empathy or compassion for what's happening around the world. And some of it is just because it resonates with what we think is so heavy about life. Look, things are so difficult these days. Life is so difficult. Things are so bad, you know how bad it is to just try and cope with things and all of that. So it feeds that victim headspace that we're in to say that, oh my God, we're living in end times. And this is something that always fascinates me, is every single generation at some point believes they're living in end times.
Not guilty.
Everyone's fixated on prophecy and everyone's fixated on what's going to happen next. And, it's like, what's it all saying? A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush?
Yes. Yeah.
We forget that we've got a bird in our hand.
I think it's robbing us of being present, of being happy, of being in the moment. This constant anticipation.
Yes.
You just heard me now saying that we're going to have another petrol price increase. But the news is just full of, this is what you should look forward to. If you think it's bad now, it's going to get worse later.
Look, news doesn't sell if it's not sensationalistic.
Aha.
Right? It has to be sensationalistic, otherwise no one wants to know about it. Because no one wants to know about what's normal and what's okay.
Yeah.
So they either want to know about something that's extremely over the top amazing, or they want to know about everything that's doom and gloom. Nothing in between. And then that reflects in how it is that you approach life. If something is normal, you take it for granted. If something is bad, you stress about it. And if something is over the top, you think wow, this is the life.
Yeah, why is that? Why are they not reporting on the good things? Surely there are good things happening around the world. Why is it not being reported or sensationalized as much?
Because, okay, this is my cynical take. When you're sitting around the table with a family or with your friends, do you come across as someone who is cool and with it and knowledgeable and all of that if you talk about normal stuff?
No.
What is usually happening is people are having debates about political stuff and technology and trends and vibes and all sorts of things, right? So they're all trying to outcool each other. And they're all trying to be more knowledgeable than each other.
Yeah. And if somebody comes in with a positive thing or whatever, they'll literally brush you off what are you talking about? Get onto the train. We going this way.
And then which side are you on? Like, I mean, the same thing with sports and politics and everything. It's like, which side are you on? And then you start debating about whose side is the better side and all of that. And at sometimes it's in good fun, where you're debating about sports and things like that. But at other times it gets a bit too intense, because now you create polarization and division, and then it's like political divides, and then it's moral divides and ethical divides and all sorts of things, and then it's philosophical divides. It's just creating division all over the place.
I don't know if you saw this case, a landmark case where a woman known as Kaylee was awarded $6 million in damages as a result, basically of suing them because she says that they actually caused mental health issues for her since she was very young.
Who is she suing for that?
Right? She sued Instagram, Facebook, I think she sued Snapchat, all of them, basically. And this has opened the floodgates now for many more lawsuits like this to be filed, and proving that it will be successful. She's anonymous, but she goes by Kaylee. And yeah, basically, this is a landmark social media addiction trial, right? But keeping in line with what we're talking about is that they capitalize
Yes.
on the algorithm, basically.
Yes.
Right?
It's no different to someone who's trying to take advantage of you in your moment of weakness or vulnerability. Right? So you see someone who's in a moment of vulnerability, and you're going to exploit them and ask them to do you unethical or illicit favors so that you can help them out of their difficult moment. Same thing with social media. They turning it into like what draws you in. Right? You clicked on that means you have this insecurity, so that means we're going to feed you more of this, so that you can build on that insecurity and you can become almost militant about it.
And the thing is, we used to have to wait for 7 o'clock to see the news. I cannot remember.
Yeah.
I mean, then Al Jazeera came out and whatever, DSTV and everything.
Then
you
it
could
was
watch it
24
around
hours.
yeah, 24 hours. News 24, Weather 24. We were going mad.
Yes.
Because our parents just kept Al Jazeera on, or CNN or BBC, whatever they wanted to watch.
Yes.
But now, it is accessible anywhere, anytime. The algorithm feeds you. You just spend more than a few seconds on a video, boom, you start getting fed all of that information. So how does that affect our mental health?
I think we need to look at what it is that the algorithm is feeding, right? The content it's feeding is feeding something within us.
Yeah.
We lose sight of that. And unless we get really exhausted and tired and frustrated about the fact that it's not changing anything, it's just making things more doomy and gloomy and all of that, we're going to keep getting into it, right? Now, if I'm looking for something to validate the fact that, yes, life sucks and there's no point in anything and you must just like live for today and forget about tomorrow and all that,
Yeah.
I'm going to go and look for content that's going to resonate with that.
Yeah.
But they only feed you what it is that you're willing to consume. And you can see the difference in, I think it's in China, you can see the algorithms work very differently.
Yes, correct.
The teenagers, they get inspirational content.
Yeah. Are they trying to make us dumber?
I don't think they're trying to make us dumber. I think we are susceptible to becoming dumber because of how it is that we approach life. If you're going to approach life as if everything is so astonishing in the smallest things, and you're going to be so easily moved by news items and the next victim who's coming up and claiming that they have a cause to fight and you want to rally behind them and all of that, then you're not really owning your space. You're just following whatever it is that seems like, oh, that tugs at my heartstrings, it must be true. No critical thinking left.
Maybe that's the point, right? To not have critical thinkers, to not have anybody questioning the narrative they're trying to portray.
But the people who are drawn into those big political debates around the dinner table, they think they're critical thinkers.
That's a very important point, you know. Like if I'm flipping the script in my head, I can hear the uncles already in my head, you know. But the world is gone mad at this point.
You know, what's that old saying about great minds discuss ideas,
Yes. Yeah.
and average minds discuss events, and small minds discuss people?
Yeah.
I always add to that saying that puny minds, like tiny, teeny minds, they discuss themselves.
Yeah. You know, when one is talking to somebody with this opinion, we put ourselves in categories. But, you know, I'm just thinking about It's very interesting because all eyes on the UAE, Dubai, what's happening right now, right?
Why?
Because it's there, because
Why?
it's of interest.
You know, again, my cynical take. I've
Yeah.
always, because I've been working abroad in my past life, right?
Yes.
And I spent a fair amount of time in the Middle East and Dubai and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I always came back from there with is this distinct impression that Dubai is synthetic.
Synthetic, an illusion.
It's a synthetic life, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
a manufactured lifestyle, a manufactured kind of quality of life as well. You know what was the one thing that really like
Mm-hmm.
I was completely gobsmacked when I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Here we were in Dubai, in at the time one of the biggest malls in Dubai, and as we know, Dubai is in the middle of a desert,
Mm-hmm.
and they had plastic palm trees inside the mall.
Okay.
Biggest mall
Mm-hmm.
in one of the richest cities or
Mm-hmm.
regions in the world
Mm-hmm.
has synthetic palm trees in the middle of a desert that is lush with palm trees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think
Make it make sense.
yes.
If that's not synthetic, I don't know what is.
You know, I must be honest. The city in the day and the city at night, very different.
Yes.
Owing to the lighting,
Uh-huh.
the special effects, the whole illusion that is created to draw you in.
Yes.
I think after about 5 days, I was ready to come back to home.
There's a fascination value about it, right?
Yeah,
But people want to try and hold on to that fascination.
yeah. It doesn't last.
And the reason why people aspire to want to be in that kind of vibe, in that space, is because they think that symbolizes success. It symbolizes a good life, good quality of life.
But that's true because when you ask where so and so, they say, no, they've gone to Dubai. Ooh, what are they doing there? You
Yeah,
know?
Dubai is the new Australia. Right? Before, everyone who was making it was like, oh no, my children moved to Australia.
Yes.
And my children moved to this, to Canada, and to
Yeah.
this. We're always looking at people who
The
like,
standard.
yeah, they
Yeah.
started life somewhere else, and suddenly that's the gold standard for if you're making it in life, that's what
That's
you
where
need to
you
do.
should
You
be.
need to like immigrate
Mm-hmm.
because you know South Africa is like this and South Africa is like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if everyone's going to immigrate when they make it, who's giving back to the community that gave you enough to be able to immigrate?
And that's the thing. People say, you know what? You're too patriotic.
It's not about patriotism, it's about accountability and gratitude. Why do we lose ourselves to this nationalism, racism, patriotism, and all that nonsense? And that's why we lose sight of what's important when the world goes mad.
Right.
The world has gone mad because we've lost sight.
Mm-hmm.
We don't lose sight because the world has gone mad.
Do you think that there's a narrative they're trying to portray in order to make us feel like we are losing control?
Again, you're really provoking the cynic in me today. I honestly believe that we give far too much credit to the purveyors of information, the people who push out the content there, to say that they have this massive wisdom that they are manipulating us. I think they're more opportunistic than anything else.
Right.
I have to first be interested in smart content before someone who's putting out smart content is going to get a hit.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not interested in it, they're not going to get a hit.
True.
So if something like that is becoming pervasive, it's becoming something that's so widespread and so common that we think that, oh, we're on a slide into hell and this is prophecy and all of that.
Yeah.
The one thing I always ask myself is, if you are living in times of prophecy, which side of that prophecy are you on? Are you part of the reason why the prophecy is coming to pass? Or are you actually the one that's holding it back?
And it's so important for us to to regroup. What do you believe? Do you believe everything you see? Because there's AI generated images now that where you can literally see and hear the glitch. You can, if you you can see that this is not the person. You can hear the machine clicks in between. You could see the body movements, for example. And that's how easy it is to manipulate information now.
It is. I mean, look at the content that came out about MBS and Trump.
Mm,
If you know, you know, right? And it's very convincing content, right? It looks realistic, and they call it deep fakes now, right?
yes.
So these deep fakes are possible, but the only reason people will get away with it without any resistance or any question is because they're giving it to an audience that doesn't think critically. And that critical thinking starts at home. It doesn't start in university or in school. In fact, I often argued that university and school, it actually dumbs down critical thinking.
Why is that? Why is that your opinion?
Because it shapes your perspective to think of things in a specific way, from a specific perspective, in a specific vantage point, within a specific frame of reference. What is acceptable and what analytical mindsets look like and all of that. It doesn't allow you to question things critically, even though the authority says it must be this way.
It's difficult. I mean, people think that is that's the pathway to success because that's the prescription.
Right, so here's my question then. Let's assume it is. Let's assume mainstream mental health, psychology, universities, the education system, whatever has been defined as like this is the standard we want to raise our children with
Yes.
these days. Let's assume that all of that is supposed to be on point and true. That's what we should be following. My question is then, we've been following it for so long, look where we are. At which point do we look back and say, well, why is it that we're slipping further into this abyss of immorality and unethical behavior and absolute distortion of values? Why is it we're slipping further into this when we're supposed to be that much more knowledgeable and that much more accessible for this kind of information that's supposed to teach us how it is that we must live a better quality life?
By this time, should we not have the most progressive, educated? Should we
Yes.
not have corrected the wrongs of the past? Like,
Yes.
like we should have the most enlightened generation right now. We should be living our best lives, actually.
But yet, with all of this going on, we've got Me Too movements, we've got Not in My Name, we've got Never Again means never again, and all of these causes that's coming up because we are repeating in worse ways the mistakes of the past.
So this is something you mentioned in the last interview as well, where you spoke about the regression. We have the most
Yes.
regressed generation,
Yes.
actually, whereas it's supposed to be the opposite.
Uh-huh. Now, do we blame social media for that, or do we blame absent parents for that?
Let's talk about absent parents. What? My parents live with me. They are we all live together. We have everything that we need. How are they absent?
How are the parents connecting what their children are consuming online to real life? Like meaningfully connecting it. So your child is looking at this latest trend and this latest theme and this latest fad and all of that. And you think, yeah, it's innocent. It's what kids do these days. Okay, how do you connect that to real life? How is that informing them about how life works? How is it that they're going to show up in life relative to what they're taking from that? And that's the part that we completely miss. Parents, for the most part, don't understand what the children are taking from school, taking from university, taking from social media, from news, from family politics, from the behavior of adults around them. They don't know what they're taking from it. And then children grow up believing that I didn't like the way that felt, so I'm going to make sure I do it differently. And this is a common theme. Everyone wants to do it differently, but no one knows how they should be doing it differently. They just know that different is what is right. And then you make mistakes. And then we think, yeah, okay, well, it's my life. I'm going to make my own mistakes. Oh, okay, cool. Do you live in a vacuum? Do you live in a bubble? Is there no one else affected by the mistakes that you make?
Of course.
Your parents made mistakes and you were affected by it, and now you think you're going to do better than that by making your own mistakes so that you're not going to affect anyone the way they affected you. Meanwhile, you're going to affect others with the mistakes you're making, and you're like just paying it forward.
I think there's a disease of entitlement.
It's a disease of entitlement. It's a disease of arrogance. It's a disease of conceit. It's a disease of misplaced confidence, because we are so out of touch with what reality is actually about.
And this is exactly why the world has gone mad and will stay
Yes.
mad. Because we are not correcting. We are not going back. We are not looking at the moral fiber and correcting. We can identify the problem, but what are we doing to fix it?
Oh, we are experts at identifying problems.
Yeah.
We can tell everyone what is wrong with them,
Yeah.
but we don't know what's wrong with us. Why? Low self-esteem, low self-respect, low self-awareness, good intention coupled with bad methods, and then we want people to judge us based on our intentions. Don't judge me, you don't know what I've been through. No. What you've been through doesn't change the impact of what you're doing.
My question is this. What is the worst that can happen if somebody tells you what's wrong with you? Why are we allergic?
The question then is like, what is my true investment in myself? Do I really want to be this best version of myself and all of that? If I do, if I claim I want to be the best version of myself, and someone comes and tells me I got something wrong, isn't my investment in wanting to be better to say that, hold on, if I'm getting something wrong, I need to improve that, because like if I don't improve that, I'm not going to be the best version of myself.
And I think the thing is that when you are younger and criticism is viewed as an attack, then every time, even constructive criticism comes, or you just smell it coming your way, you retreat.
But who determines whether it's an attack or not?
Let's go back to school reports.
Okay.
Right? We get our reports, red ring, you go home. Oh my goodness. The construction of the criticism.
Is this a good time to remind people that the majority of Fortune 500 company founders were
Yes.
college or high school dropouts?
Yes.
Is it also a good time to remind people that the majority of bosses are C-grade students, and the majority of workers and laborers are A-grade students?
There's actually a book titled Why A students work for C students.
Yes.
There is a book, I know, titled that. And this is what we're aiming to do here, is to pop the bubble. The prescription, that whole do it this way as society prescribes, that's not the path that you should follow to the letter. You've got to make your own path.
Why is it that we chase status and wealth and social standing?
Again, I think it's low self-esteem, wanting to prove yourself, wanting to fit in with the masses. Yeah.
Right. Because we want to give our children the best life, right?
The life we never had.
The life we never.
Yeah.
We're back to that.
Yes. I want to give them what I never had.
Fun fact, you can't give what you don't have. Think about it,
Just
like
destroyed people's whole intention.
basic logic. That's what I'm saying. Let's just get back to a point of like common sense. Not even common sense, just sensibility.
Yeah.
Right? If logically it's impossible for you to give something you don't have. If I don't have $10 and you need $10, I can't give you $10.
Yeah. But I can promise you $10 when I
Yeah.
have it. That's us. I can't do it, but maybe later.
Right? So
Yeah.
if I'm thinking that I want to give you the life I never had, you never had that life, how are you going to give it?
Yeah. Ooh, it's a...
How are you going to give something you didn't have? All you're going to do is you're going to give them what you thought was better than what you had. That doesn't mean you're right. And when are you going to discover that you might have been wrong?
When it's too late.
Exactly, when the damage is done, and then you see your children distancing themselves or not following through on your value system and
Yeah.
fighting back and resisting and all of that sort of thing, and then you're going to say, oh no, they're ungrateful. Okay, if they are ungrateful, you need to be sure that they're not ungrateful because of something that you instilled in them. Because we raise them with a sense of entitlement, and entitlement says that I don't owe you anything. It was your duty.
Yeah.
It was your responsibility to provide for me. It was your responsibility to take care of me, to nurture me, to prepare my meals.
You know what is the most, I think, hardest moment I saw a parent have to take in? When a child said to them, not even a child, now adult, said, I didn't ask to be here.
Yeah, genius.
I didn't ask to be here, so I will not be guilted.
Okay, and your parents didn't ask to be there, so they're not responsible for following through on anything. So who asked to be here? And here's the hypocrisy in that position. If you didn't ask to be here, then don't dare enjoy a single moment of life. Because you're not allowed to take the good out of it and just reject the bad stuff. Because it's hypocrisy. So this nonsense, and the fact that we, for the most part, don't have a reasonable response to that except to say you better or else. Or try to guilt them and shame them into like understanding that that's not a nice thing to say and all of that. The fact that we don't have a more meaningful response than that means that we are falling short in a big way that we don't realize.
And it is nobody but the future generations and them who is going to suffer.
Yes.
Because let's face it, your parents have lived their life, done their work, set up their empires, they on retirement, they're looking forward to life on the coast, or just enjoying their golden years.
What's the point of all of that? You want to raise a family, raise children so that you can be left alone in your old age. It's my turn to rest and relax and enjoy my life now. Something's wrong with that picture.
And yet that was the narrative, that was the standard.
Yes. You slog away and then prepare for retirement, and after slogging away and destroying your health because of the slog, you then look forward to retiring with ill health and medical bills and a pension that barely covers your quality of life.
It's terrible. Plus, they tax you all the way there and tax you when you get there. Oh my goodness, it makes us so angry, But that is, literally the world we currently live in, I find that people are claiming they're taking back. The
Hmm.
critical thinkers are taking back their
Right.
power.
But do we have critical mass of critical thinkers?
No.
And that's the problem. If people are going to be following suit with social trends and fads and TikToks and Instagram lifestyles and things like that, we don't have critical thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting around the dinner table and you're discussing events and you're discussing people, you're not a critical thinker.
Yeah.
You're only analyzing what's there. Are you discussing ideas? Are you discussing upliftment? How to change the trajectory of your life, of your family's life, of your community's life, of society? What are you doing towards contributing towards the outcomes that you're saying it should be like that, not like this?
Yeah, then you're not actually a problem solver, and you're actually not looking to solve any problems. You're looking to add.
Yes, you want to complain and show how what a firm grasp you have on what's wrong with society. Okay, so now that we know what's wrong with society, who's going to provide us with a solution for what's wrong with society?
Very interesting points that you have raised. Let's go to a quick ad break, and then when we get back, we are going to talk more about why is it that the world is going crazy right now. Please WhatsApp us on 077-280-4792. We would really appreciate your additions to this conversation, your thoughts. Simply, how is this affecting you? Are you also a news fundi? Are you following the trends, or are you witnessing the current generation, just go down with everything that they are viewing? They're just digesting it all, not even filtering it. It is 9:32, and we'll be back after this. Is the world gone crazy? If you ask me, my personal opinion, yes, yes, and yes. You just choose which crazy current you are going with, and you are in it to win it with everybody else. But yes, Coach Zaid in the house. So yes, Coach Zaid, how do we remain sane and centered and, in this time when everything feels like it is literally going mad, like the earth is spinning the other way?
I want people to take a deep breath before I say what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Don't try to cope with it.
Mm.
Coping will fail you. Most of the people are taking strain these days because their coping mechanisms are not working.
Mm.
It's not giving them the outcomes or the control or the predictability or the peace that they were hoping for.
Mm.
And then they don't look at the coping mechanisms that they adopted. They look at who's not cooperating with them.
Yeah.
And then they start writing people off. Toxic this, abusive that, cut-off culture and all of that nonsense.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they didn't realize they were coping rather than actually dealing with life.
Mm. I have a very big kind of gripe. People talk about coping mechanisms, trauma bonding, narcissistic traits. There's all of these labels, but I don't think people fully understand what these things, what it actually means. They say I'm processing.
Well, let's assume, even if they come up with these big ideas about like narcissistic traits and everything else, what problem is that solving for the human who is demonstrating that behavior?
Let me tell you how it goes down.
Mm-hmm.
They post it on their status. They have an argument with their wife or their partner.
Yeah.
And the next day, they're posting traits of a narcissistic female.
Yes, exactly.
They're very specific.
And then everyone who thinks, yeah, that looks familiar. I know. My one does the same thing, and they're all like following and reacting.
They create a cult.
And yeah.
Okay. And then somebody screenshots that, sends it to the wife. Like, ooh, did you see? Like, is everything okay? Like, what's going on here? Who's the narcissist? He said female. Ooh, they must be having problems. It's like people feed off this negativity, this
sensationalism.
Yes.
If it's not sensational, no one wants to know about it.
Exactly. And if you think about our grannies and grandfathers, and they never had WhatsApp statuses. If you know them, you know them. You're seeing them, you're visiting them face to face. Now, every day we're accessible to somebody's emotions, expression, and they say, there's one meme that I know somebody put up. It says that not everything that I post is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Like,
that's become like a standard disclaimer these days for people who also want to be passive aggressively posting about what they're going through, but I'm not going through this.
About me. If the shoe fits, way Cinderella.
We're so busy minding everyone else's business that we don't mind our own business anymore.
Oh, absolutely. It's not the world going crazy, literally. It is the fact that we talk about, pursuit of inner peace.
What does it look like?
I'm choosing my peace. I have
Uh-huh.
people who have lit the whole house on fire and then say, I choose peace.
Yeah.
You know,
Not my problem. Not my monkeys, not my circus.
yeah,
Yeah, but who provoked the monkeys in the first place?
yeah.
Yeah, no. You know, the saddest part of all of this is that we're convinced that by walking away from problems, we can have peace.
Mm-hmm.
No, because then you're just on edge about when is that problem going to surface again.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're deluded enough to believe that it won't surface again, it's going to clop you twice as hard when it does surface again.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't solve a problem, the problem will revisit you until you do solve it.
And then where's your coping mechanisms going to feature?
So this is why I am absolutely 110% against coping mechanisms.
Mm-hmm.
Because a coping mechanism will fail you. It not might fail you, it will fail you. It's a matter of when, not if.
Mm.
For a simple reason. If you develop a coping mechanism, right? One of the common things that comes to mind is when people have panic attacks or anxiety, then they develop coping mechanisms.
Yes.
Touch this, smell that, focus on
Five
this, and all of
times.
those things,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is, when you develop a coping mechanism, you're developing within the context of that experience.
Mm.
So say, for example, on a scale of 1 to 10, your anxiety level is at 6 out of 10, right? Not a good space to be. You're still feeling the anxiety. It's overwhelming. It's starting to get the better of you. So you need to cope. So now you develop a coping mechanism relative to how you feel. Not why you feel, how you feel.
So we focused on the how, not the why.
Yes. So now you cope. And this coping mechanism is cool. It's like, I can feel that sensation coming on again. I'm getting anxious. So let me just take my moment to breathe and take my moment to touch and take a moment to smell and to whatever. However, you're so confident now and taking so much comfort from the fact that that coping mechanism, hey, I got this.
Yeah.
You don't notice that the circumstances in which you developed it has changed. So what used to give you a 6 out of 10 continued getting worse because you didn't address the problem.
You coped.
You handled how you felt about the problem. And when the problem rears its head again, but this time as an 8 out of 10, not a 6 out of 10, okay, coping mechanism wasn't developed to deal with an 8 out of 10.
So it renders it irrelevant.
Yes. So your coping mechanism fails you, you're going to full-blown panic mode, and now you've got double jeopardy. Because what you thought you had a handle on, you don't have a handle on it. So now the threat of that being out of hand comes up even stronger. And secondly, the impact of realizing that your coping mechanism was not really the solution in the first place leaves you with more to think about yourself and what you think of yourself and what you think of your ability to deal with things. So it sends you deeper into that hole rather than actually helping you to come out of it.
You know, talking about anxiety and panic, there's a lot of people, undiagnosed, self-diagnosed, have anxiety.
Yes.
And it's so easy now to go and get over-the-counter, medication. And like you said, you're focusing
Pill a day
on...
keeps sanity away.
And people are definitely keeping sanity away. We are suffering for it. But that's exactly what's happening.
Because we place more reliance on the fact that an external aid or supplement of some sort is going to help us rather than believing that we are capable. That's what it does. That's what coping mechanisms do. It convinces you that without it, you are incapable.
Definitely. And then that generates millions for Big Pharma.
And it generates millions of problems in your life. Because remember, a coping mechanism is only effective if the people around you cooperate. So let's take that anxiety example again. If I need to take a moment to just breathe and get in touch with my senses or whatever it is that my coping mechanism said I need to do, but the people around me are just not giving me that opportunity.
Yeah.
What happens then? Do I escalate? Do I crumble? Do I go bat crazy on them? That's the problem. You need people to cooperate with your coping mechanisms for your coping mechanisms to be effective.
And why are we focusing on coping mechanisms and not focusing on resolving the actual cause of the panic in the first place?
Because we've come up with this stupid concept about positive and negative emotions. There is no such thing as a negative emotion. An emotion is an indicator of how you feel about something, how something affects you. Why you feel that way is an intellectual process. It's understanding, it's rationalization. You don't ever approach that side of it because you're focused on feeling better about it.
Yeah. because we are trained to think that there are positive and negative emotions.
No, there isn't a negative emotion. So you want to tell me that let's assume anger is a negative emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm walking down the street and I see someone bullying an innocent little child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not allowed to get angry because it's a negative emotion.
Mm-hmm.
But now suddenly someone will tell me, no, you're being stupid, because obviously that's a good reason to get angry. But you didn't say that there was good times to get angry. You just said that anger is a negative emotion.
Yeah.
And that's how we destroy our empathy and compassion, that because we think like, not my monkey, not my circus, so I'm not accountable. I don't have to step in. I don't have to make myself available to someone else's problems. So then when you have problems, don't expect to be supported.
And this is why we have so much of dysfunction in society, so much of misunderstanding, breakdown in communication. It's not communication, it's comprehension that's a problem.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying sensibility. It's not common sense, because that sensibility is not common, right? So we've lost sensibility about life. Like, what problem am I trying to solve? Not how do I feel about the problem that is not being solved.
So here we have an array of things happening around us. Wars, petrol price increases, things that we've got to face on the ground.
Yes.
Even if we don't scroll through it, we are confronted with the reality when you go to the petrol pump and you put in 100 rand and you're like, I can only go from here to Top Shops and come back and finish the story. You know, how do we cope with, not cope, wrong word, but how do we not allow this to negatively affect us?
You know, there's this concept of the circles of control. I prefer to think of it as circles of awareness, right? What it suggests is that imagine you have three kind of circles around you, three spheres of influence around you. The first one, which is closest to you, are the things that you can control, right? You can control what time you wake up. You can control what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, what you're going to do for yourself, all of that, for the people around you. Things that are directly in your control.
Yeah.
Then beyond that, you have things that you can influence but you can't control. You can maybe influence how it is that your children feel about themselves. You can influence how it is that your partner is going to show up for you, or what it is that they're going to prioritize and think is important, and things like that. But you can't control it. You can't make them, right? And then the third area is things that are out of your control, but you need to be aware of because it impacts you. It impacts your life. It impacts the people around you. We try to control that. We try to maintain a level of control and coping mechanisms around the things that's outside of our control, and we lose sight of what's in our control and what we can influence.
That's very powerful.
So if I'm going to focus on everything that's outside of my control, which is what we do when we watch the news, out of my control, the only thing I need to know about the news is how is this going to affect me, and whether it's something that I can positively influence if I want it to change.
Yeah.
That's it. If it doesn't answer those two questions for me, why am I watching it? It's good to be informed, yes, but what level of information am I looking for? Am I looking for detailed analysis so that I can become a specialist critic about everything that's happening?
Yeah.
Or do I need to understand that this is what happens when you have these fundamentals in society that break down? Like America as a population, they're imploding. The Western culture is imploding. This is not my criticism of them. This is their own research.
Yeah.
So we're seeing the consequences of that implosion of personal lives and personal relationships that results in global problems. And we're chasing the global problems and creating the same dysfunction in our own personal lives. We don't make sense.
And truly speaking, then we are creating stress for ourselves.
Yes. And stress is about your perceived lack of control over what it is that's important to you. Right? It's simple. We mustn't complicate life. We mustn't complicate mental health and emotions and all of it. It's simple. If I need something to go my way and I see there's a probability it's not going to go my way and I can't do anything about it because I believe I'm not in a position to change it,
Yeah.
I'm going to stress about it. If my boss gives me an impossible deadline and I know that if I don't meet the deadline, it's going to have a negative impact on my remuneration, but I also can't tell him off because it's my boss and then I might get fired, that's stress. So I'm not working the problem anymore, I'm working the emotion. We're solving the wrong problem. So if I redirect my focus on what is within my control, sorry, automatically what that does is it gives me something to work with. Because what's in my control is not going to creep up on me when I'm not paying attention because I was distracted by what's out of my control. So what's in my control, so what's in my control, if I neglect that, it's going to cause problems in how I can influence the things that I can influence, but is out of my control, right? The people around me, the situation around me, how I'm going to get to work, whether I'm going to carpool, whether I'm going to use public transport, whether I'm going to limit the amount of times that I travel with my car to go to the shop and back and rather use a delivery service. Those are things I can influence relative to what's out of my control, the increasing petrol price.
I think it's so important for us to focus on the aspect of control and the spheres you're speaking about. And I think we need to explore that on a deeper level.
Maybe that's next week's topic.
Perhaps, yeah, that can be next week's topic, because I don't think the more we know, the better we can be.
Yes.
The more we can understand ourselves and we can take our awareness to a level. You know, you mentioned this thing, I want to be the best version of myself. And when I hear
Don't
best
limit
version,
yourself,
that triggers me.
Stop limiting yourself
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, that triggers me, because people are like, I want to be the best version of myself. You are yourself.
You're not a software release.
Yeah, it's update.
You're not an app update.
Yes, I want to be the best version of myself. And once I say that, I start to feel empty for some
Yes.
reason, because I am me.
If you want to be the best version of yourself, what is the negative reinforcement behind that?
Yeah,
I'm not good enough right now.
yeah. And the thing is, I just want to let parents know also that when we talk about connection, it's not everyone connected to the same router.
No.
We're talking about something much deeper than that, you know?
Yeah, because now it used to be home is where the heart is, and now it's
Yeah.
home is where your Wi-Fi connects automatically.
True. Just imagine. Yo, Coach Zaid, it's been a pleasure. What is your message to our listeners out there, as we do know the world is definitely going mad?
The world is going mad because we are contributing to the madness. So you need to take stock about whether your contribution to the world is currently feeding the madness or giving sanity and hope to people who you are impacting around you, right? If you focused on coping, you're out of control. You need to reclaim your agency. And one of the biggest things in reclaiming agency is developing a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Don't take yourself so seriously because no one else does.
Aina.
Right? But we lose ourselves to the seriousness and the intensity and how it is that you want others to understand everything is so big and like dreary and imposing and all of that. No, just take things in your stride. You can only deal with one thing at a time, no matter how much you multitask. Even when you're multitasking, you have to stop one thing before you start the next thing. And then you have to stop that thing before you come back to the first thing. So be mindful, be purposeful, right? But that in itself is elusive. It's difficult for people to grasp that, because the way we've been taught about what mindfulness looks like and how to achieve it and all of that, that's distorted as well. So we really need to step back and regain sensibility about life. What is it that makes sense? What is it that just works without someone having to tell you to try some exercise or some method or some supplement before it works?
Very important. Coach Zaid, Jazakallah khair for your pearls of wisdom. As always, we appreciate you. My goodness, you put things in perspective.
Alhamdulillah.
It's like the sheep run in all directions, and then you come and you're like, yeah, everybody this way. So
Social
you know.
media is herding cats. You can't herd cats. We trying to herd sheep, but not because you're sheeple, because
Yes.
conspiracy theorists will be familiar with that term, sheeple. It's because we need to understand who
Yeah.
are we, where we're at, what are we trying to achieve, and who are we trying to achieve it with. Don't forget that part.
Yeah.
And don't lose yourself to how you feel about something. Understand that how you feel about something is just telling you that, hey, there's something not lekker here. I need to fix this. I need to solve it. I need to correct it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. We wish you an awesome week ahead, and we hope you get well soon. And next week, same time, we are going to be tackling that issue of self-control, control as a whole, the
And
spheres of
coping.
control, and coping in
Yes.
inverted commas.
How to cope with life.
How to cope with life.
Step 1, don't cope.
And there you have it. That was next week's interview already done.
Done.
Thank you so much, Coach Zaid. Have an
Okay.
awesome one.
You
Assalamu
too.
alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
Wa
barakatuh.
alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.